Hello and welcome to the next edition of Non-Mat Yoga, John Oppenheim. This is number 10 in your program, and you're probably wondering how I do this numbering. Well, all I'm doing is I started a new bunch of them, and I just call it Non-Mat Yoga rather than social distancing. And that number 10 is just that this is the 10th one I'm doing, but I've started to put some description with it to let you know what it's about. And so the one session that we're going to do now is seated crescent and hip flexors. And I want to talk a little bit about that hip flexor thing that people who don't do a lot of moving around, and certainly we don't work our hips that much, have a tendency to, if their hips tighten up, and if you do walking or something, your hips will kind of pull at you. And so these exercises that I found online are not necessarily part of any yoga class I took, but I think it's important to be able to do some things in addition to some of the standard stuff we do that helps all of us, including me, since I really like these things. So with that, we're just going to start, as we always do, with our three-part breath, inviting you to close your eyes or soften your gaze, and maybe put your hands on your knees, anywhere that is comfortable, sitting up nice and tall with your joints aligned as your shoulders over your hips, your knees over your ankles. Talk about it every time. It's okay. Forgive me. So just take a nice deep inhale, and let's open mouth exhale. And as we do that, we'll just expel all that bad air that we've been accumulating, if you have any, or just letting go of the outside world and focusing on our practice as we do every time. And now just focusing more on your breath, that picture of that balloon in your belly. So we're going to fill the belly with air and go from the belly up to the abdomen and then to the lungs. So just starting to do that breath, not trying to do too deeply, but just inhaling, let that belly stretch out into the lungs. And as you exhale, exhale from the lungs to the abdomen and then the belly, bringing your belly in towards your spine. Just starting to lengthen those breaths. Maybe working up to a 6-second inhale and a 6-second exhale. If it's in your practice, if it's not, you feel like you can't really breathe that deeply, don't worry about it. Just whatever you can do. Maybe when you're sitting by yourself, if you're not able to get to that 6-second exhale, you can start to practice it. I've talked about this in enough of these that the more air you can bring into your system, the more oxygen gets to your brain, and your brain tells your heart you don't need to work as hard, which lowers your pulse. And also, if you learn to do these nice deep breaths, when you get stressed, you can just sit there and do them. You can do about 6 or 7 of these and just immediately just release that stress. So just do a couple more breaths and then we'll start our movement. One more. Now just opening your eyes with a soft gaze on an inhale, bring your arms up overhead. And as you exhale, bring them down. Inhale up. Exhale down. And just inhaling up, just holding your arms up overhead, just reaching towards the ceiling, but dropping your shoulders away from your ears and getting your biceps a little closer to your ears, but you're not shrugging your shoulders. And I imagine those strings coming down off the ceiling, pulling your arms up. And we'll just hold this for 2 hours and be the strongest arm people we ever met, or maybe not. So bring your hands together and bring them to heart center into your knees. And we'll start our shoulder and neck exercises. So on an inhale, bring your shoulders up and back, sitting up low towards the front of your chair to do this. So you got plenty of room to move your arms and your shoulders. Get rid of that tension in your shoulders that, again, we carry around. I think I mentioned this. If you're working from home and you're sitting on a Zoom meetings these days, and even if coronavirus is over, we're still going to be doing a lot of Zoom meetings, I think. And you get all hunched up so you can do these. And just do one more. Great. Shake it out. So we're going to do neck exercises. So again, moving to the front of the chair, get my knees right over my ankles, arms out, palms in back. Bring your right arm behind you. Bring your left hand and grab your right wrist. Opening that right shoulder up, sitting up nice and tall. Take a big inhale. And on an exhale, lean your right ear towards your shoulder. Just breathe into that stretched neck. Keeping those breaths going. Hopefully that you've done this enough that you can breathe with your mouth closed. Keeping all that energy inside your body. One more breath. Big inhale. And as you exhale, just tilt your chin towards the right, looking down at the floor. Keeping those breaths going, and now send your breath into that other side of your neck that's being stretched. Two more nice deep breaths. And on the next inhale, rotate your chin up to the left, looking up. And as you exhale, come down. So you're not moving the position of your neck. All you're doing is rotating as you inhale up and then just exhale back. Do a couple more of these. And then letting go of your wrist, take the fingers on your right hand to your side of your head and just push it back up nice and slowly. And we'll take a couple of shoulder rolls before we go to the other side, maybe 3. Bring your arms out, and this time bring your left hand behind, grabbing your left wrist with your right hand. And sitting up nice and tall, take a big inhale. And as you exhale, tilt your chin to the left, or your ear, sorry. So you're just tilting your ear over towards that shoulder. Maybe one side's a little tighter than the other, so you can't get very far, but whatever you're doing, you're taking a nice stretch. Taking nice deep breaths here. Just take a couple more. And take a big inhale. And as you exhale, rotate your chin down to the left, looking down at the floor. Breathing into that other side of your neck, stretch. Nice deep breaths as you do this. 3 more. Make sure you're doing that belly breathing as you do this. You do that belly breathing enough, pretty soon it's second nature. You don't even need to think about it. And on the next inhale, you're going to rotate your chin up to the right. And as you exhale, come back down. Inhale up. Exhale down. 2 more. Up. And letting go, take your fingers in your left hand to your left temple, nice and gently pulling your head back to center. And just take a couple more shoulder rolls. So come into the front of your chair. We're going to do some hip rolls, and then we're going to do that seated crescent. So sitting up nice and tall. Big inhale and exhale, come down. So we're just bending at the waist. So you want to keep your back straight. You don't want to hunch over. Take a big inhale here, and as you exhale, come around to the right. And then come up, and as you inhale, as you come forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. Just stirring the pot. I alternate these with cats and cows because I think it's important that we just keep moving that upper body a lot. Even if you do a lot of walking, sometimes you don't do that in your body. So make this your last one in this direction, and then exhale to the other side. Inhale forward, back. And start to make your circles just a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller. You say, well, I already doing small ones. Well, that's okay. And just come back to center. So we're going to do our seated crescent now. And most of you that have done this a few times understand you go to the right side of your chair and take your right arm on, break it over the back, and then send that left leg back on your, sitting on your toes so you can see that I have back on my toes. Now, if coming back that far is too much, just wherever you're comfortable is fine. And actually, take your arm from back in the chair to do the crescent. So inhale up for crescent. So you're arching your back. And now, as you exhale, bring that right arm to the back. So your left arm is up. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, just nice side stretch to the right. And exhale back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. One more. Forward and back. And then bring your arm right to straight. That right arm in the back. And you take your left hand and put it on the back of your chair and look over your right shoulder. And again, you're pressing those feet into the floor while you're doing this. So you get a lot of work on your quads and your calves and your sides. Nice deep breathing here. 2 more breaths. And take a big inhale. And as you exhale, just unwind and we'll come around to the other side. Maybe take a shoulder roll on the way over. And so now your left foot's in front. Again, your knee is right over your ankle, sending that right leg back only as far as your right leg tells you can go. And on an inhale, coming up for that crescent lunge. Remember this time, I make these mistakes just to show you that I'm human. To err is human, right? And on the next exhale, send that left arm to the back of the chair, bringing that right arm up. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, come over, and then inhale back. Exhale over, inhale back. One more like that. And then bring that arm straight, and then bring it to the back of the chair, and this time looking over your left shoulder. So we're getting an upper back twist, a little different than the ones we usually do. It's okay. Two more breaths. And come around. So we're going to come up to standing. I realize my head's kind of cut off from this, but I want to show the chair here. So what we're going to do, well, let me put it a little up. Here. So this is a hip flexor. Again, I Googled hip flexors. I was looking for something else, but I found this one. So there's two options on this. Number one, which is kind of the easier one, is to put your left foot up on the chair if you're on the right side, or if you're on the left side, put your right foot up. And you can use the chair for balance. And you come back a little bit, like whatever you're comfortable with, and put your hand on your hip. And as you inhale, just bring that knee forward. And it gives it, when we're doing warriors, we say don't get your knee in front, but we're not going to do any more movement with that. And you can feel that stretch in your hip flexor here. Now, what the person that did this says to do this for 30 seconds, 3 times. So we're only going to do just a little bit here so I can show you the other one. But I would suggest, especially since this is on video, watch it a couple of times and then you can do it yourself. So that's number one. Number two is to do it without the chair. And again, it's a little more stretch here. And then you bring your left foot forward and your right foot back. I should be facing the other way, but it's okay. We'll start on the left. Now, I've got my hands on my hips, and I'm going to start coming forward and bending, putting that knee in front of my ankle this time. And I can start to feel a little bit of stretch here. And if that's as far as you want to go, that's fine. If you want a little more out of this, you can bring that right arm up like this. And then kind of look in back of you and bend just a little bit, and you can feel it right in that hip flexor there. And if you hold this for 30 seconds, you're going to really feel it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through it again, and I'll do it from the other side. I'll just leave the chair there. And so do the other leg. So again, bring your left leg in front if you're on the left side of your chair. And again, you can hold that chair, and it's the straight leg that gets the stretch. And you'd think it would be this, but it's not. And then inhale, just come forward. Start to feel that stretch in the back. And again, if you could hold it for 30 seconds, do it 3 times, you start to really get your hip flexors stretched. And again, if you want to do it without the chair, again, depending on how wide you want your stance, but I've got mine pretty wide. You want to take as big a step as you can, and then inhale, just come forward. And again, I'm going to bring my arm up like this and keep my hand on the hip. It's the other way. Sorry. The opposite arm, the one that where your leg is straight, you want up. And then kind of bend over to like a side stretch and then maybe looking back. And you can really feel that hip stretch. So I apologize for putting the wrong arm up. It's only the second time I've done this thing. Nice deep breath as you do this. And we'll come up. If we have more time, we maybe do the 3 of them for 30 seconds, but I don't have that much time. So we're going to actually leave it there because we're going to go and do the first thing we're going to do is a couple sun salutations just to kind of loosen that back up again. So on an inhale, you're standing hip width apart, mountain pose, bring your arms up overhead and your arms out to the side, bending your knees as much as you need to, coming down to the floor or just to your ankles or your shins. Inhale, come halfway up, that flat back. Exhale, down. Arms out to the side as you inhale, using your legs to bring yourself up. Bring your hands together, little back bend, hands to heart center, and mountain pose. So we'll just do one more of these. Inhale up, and swan dive down. Inhale halfway up. Exhale down. Arms out to the side. All the way up. A little back bend, hands to heart center, and mountain pose. We get this out of the way. We'll do our warrior poses next. So I'm just going to do it all from the side this time. So bringing your right leg in front and that left leg to the back, offset to 10 o'clock. And as you inhale, bend that front knee, bring your arms up for warrior one, making sure that knee doesn't go over your ankle for warrior. And nice deep breaths, dropping your shoulders away from your ears. And on the next inhale, bring that left arm up and send it to the back as you pivot that back foot and line your heels up. And your knee is still right over your ankle and making sure it doesn't go in towards front, but you want it towards pinky toe. Shrugging those shoulders for warrior two, making sure your arms are straight. It's always safe. If this gets too much, you can just kind of do that for about a count of 3 and then bring them back. It releases that tension. And on the next inhale, flip that right hand over. And as you exhale, come back for reverse warrior, looking up at that left hand. Send that, right hand, sorry. Send that left hand down along your leg. Or you can wrap around your waist, looking up at that right hand. Nice deep breaths. One more. And as you exhale, come back to warrior two. And then inhale, straighten that front leg. Bring that back leg a little closer. As you inhale, come forward, sending that right hand down along your right leg. And again, get down on the floor if you're really good. It's about as far as I can go. This leg is straight, so this is extended pyramid. And looking up at that left hand or left thumb, if you can look up that way or whatever is comfortable for you. I like to do that because I get a little more stretch in my neck. Couple more breaths. And on the next inhale, come on up, put your hands on your hips, look to the front, and step up. And over to the other side. So that left foot's in front, bending that front knee, that back foot is pointed at 2 o'clock. And your arms come up for warrior one. Nice deep breathing here. One more breath. And on the next inhale, bring that right arm to the back. Pivot your back foot, line your heels up for warrior two, shrug your shoulders, looking out over that left hand. Nice deep breathing here. Three more breaths like this. And on the next inhale, flip that left hand over. And as you exhale, come back for reverse warrior, looking up at that left hand. Sending your right arm down along your right leg, or again, you can wrap it around your waist. I've been doing this a while. Whichever one you feel most comfortable with. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, come back for warrior two. Inhale, straighten that front leg, bring that back leg a little bit closer. As you inhale, leaning forward, bringing that left hand down on your left leg, send that right arm up towards the ceiling for extended pyramid. Backing out. And on the next inhale, come on up. Put your hands on your hips, look forward and step to the front. So the next thing we're going to do is balance. And I'm going to show you, there's a thing called dancer pose. Almost everybody's seen it. If you watch enough television, they always show it. So dancer pose is basically this. And I'm doing it fast, so I'm going to get myself set. But I think there's a way to do it since we're all using a chair and you have a back on the chair. So we're going to, if you come to the right side of your chair, No, actually, if you come to the right side, I said I haven't done this. So get your foot that's closest to the chair is the one you're going to balance on. So we'll go to the other side, that's what you're going to do. So what you want to do is pick that non-moving spot and then gently pick your leg up. Now, when I do this, because I've been doing it a while, I can grab on the inside of my leg, I can grab my ankle. But if you can't do that and just bring it up in back of you like this, and you're holding on to that chair, or you can maybe grab the front, just grab your shin, just to play around with a little different balance. And then when you're ready, you can just take your hand off the chair. And if you fall over or fall, it's okay. You just grab that chair. And eventually, maybe you can bring that arm up. And sometimes people can actually bend at the waist and do this. But just whatever you can. I just want to do something a little different. So I'll shake that out. So you look up dancer pose online and see what it looks like. So this time, on the other leg is going to come straight. Hold on to the chair right here. And I'm just doing this as if I were just starting. So I bring my other leg up and I'm just grabbing right on my shin. And again, you can slide down your foot or however you want to do it. And you're standing tall on that other foot, picking that non-moving spot. And then you can let go of the chair and try it. Maybe coming all the way up. Maybe even try a little bending at the waist. Now, I got to tell you, when I started yoga and they did dancer pose, I wasn't able to do this. Took me a long time, but all because of all the balancing you do, believe it or not, this isn't that difficult once you get going, although it is one of the more difficult ones. I'm going to show you something if you want to practice it. All right. You can also use the wall and stand at the wall and do the same thing. So you can bring your leg up like that and then just let go of the wall. But since we all had chairs, I thought we'd try that. And you'd say, oh, thank you, John. Oh, cool. So hopefully you give it a try. If not, just do tree balance or something like that. So let's come back down to the chair. And we're going to do the seated spinal twist, where you come to the right side of the chair. Take your right hand on your left leg, send your left arm out to the side. Looking over that left hand, just twisting a little bit. Nice deep breaths. Again, you can see my shoulders right over my hips. So, and a big inhale, and as you exhale, come around and just come to the other side. So your left hand to your right knee and your right arm out to the side. Nice deep breaths. And take a big inhale. And as you exhale, come around. And enough of this, John. I want to sit here and relax and take it easy and do Shavasana, since you put me through some paces I haven't done before. But that's part of the joy of this. Little challenge every time. So again, I invite you to close your eyes and soften your gaze as we start our progressive relaxation. And just let your feet relax, and your ankles, and your shins and your thighs relax. Let your breathing get back to normal as your calves relax. Let your thighs just melt into the back of the chin. Turn that down a little bit. Let your hips relax. Your stomach and your chest relax. Let your back just roll into the back of the chair. Your shoulders fall away from your ears. Jaw drops away from your mouth. Face is nice and relaxed. Forehead is smooth. Scalp is relaxed. And your brain, not thinking about what we just done in our class, what you got coming up later, what happened earlier, but just that nice, relaxing place that you go to. I go to John's place. It's all mine, and I'm totally relaxed. Nothing bothers me. Again, you can be wherever you want. Whatever you can imagine, it just totally relax you. Nobody's around. There are no worries. Every once in a while, those thoughts come drifting by, just like little clouds, and we let them just keep going by. Let's take these next few minutes to relax. And now, starting to reconnect with the world outside. Big inhale, open up, exhale. Starting a little movement with my fingers and toes. Making little circles with your wrists. Maybe turning your head to one side and then the other. And finally, bring your arms up overhead, hands together, heart center, taking our last moments for gratitude as we do for every practice, starting with ourselves and expressing gratitude to ourselves. I think it's really important to do, and congratulate yourself. Thank your body for cooperating. Thanking those around us in our lives who make our lives better, support us, and paying homage to those who practice with us that we can't even see. And as always, I'm grateful for you to allowing me to come into your life and lead you in these practices. Until next time, namaste.